Hey, welcome to this video. I'm Marco, and today we're gonna cover the 2025 strategy for established beauty clinics and aesthetic pros on how to use AI mechanisms to book over 300 appointments every single month without having to hire additional staff. So first of all, a couple of words of who am I? My name is Marco, as I said, and I co-founded a marketing agency for med spa owners. And we have been working in this field for over 5 years. This is the executive team, my business partner, Christian, and our client success manager, Sophie. So I want to our clients, we have all out over 100 clinics. Below this video, you can see some case studies. So if you want to, you can scroll down and check them. But I want to deep dive the value immediately. So before talking how you can use AI mechanisms, let's just define what is the med spa landscape right now. So the first thing is that the client behavior overall has changed. Clients are not so easily sellable. You cannot just run an advertisement and get them to book an appointment with a 10% discount. Now they have multiple options they can choose from, and they are looking for the best and the cheapest solution. The advertisement cost then is getting higher and higher because more businesses are running ads, and it's getting much expensive to actually run ads on Facebook or Google. The competition now is actually getting insane because franchising are taking the lead. They are able to offer very low prices and thus eliminating the competition. And obviously, the first consequence is that the low and middle class clinic are basically getting wiped out from the market, and they're either getting acquired or they just close. So what would be your typical solution in this scenario? So the first one is hiring an agency, a marketing agency, or building an in-house marketing team. So the first solution is actually something that a lot of spas do, which basically would lead them to disaster, as you can see on the right picture. Why? Because most of the times this type of agency are generic, which means they basically work for several different businesses at the same time. So for contractors, for solar companies, for lawyers, and also beauty clinics. These obviously bring them not having enough experience to actually work in this industry, because you cannot use the same type of strategy and mechanism. Since they're managing different businesses and at the same time, they cannot focus on anything else rather than ads, because every single business has a client acquisition system that is different. What is working for a solar company doesn't work for a men's company. You need like a different setup. And why it happens that they bring such low quality results? Well, first of all, it's because generic agency, they don't have experience in working in this industry. Because if you have been working in this industry for like 5 years and only have held the work with med spas, then you would have generated a lot of experience and insights that you can apply only in this industry. But they rather use a copy and paste approach, which is standardized. Let's think for a moment if you were using the same advertising, the same strategy that the agency is using for a contractor. Obviously, that wouldn't work. And that is what is bringing bad results, not generating client, and overall for you, wasting money and time. Or what happens is that the new agency are basically starting from zero by these entrepreneurs. But the thing is, they are making big promises because they don't have case studies and they need some way to get your money in their pocket. And what happens is that they don't have any results and you just get burned. So this basically adds you an endless cycle of losing money on their inexperience, wasting time, hiring a new agency, getting burned again, losing trust in an agency, and then restarting the cycle over again. So what can you do? So we talked about hiring an agency, but you can obviously do that on your own. What usually happens is that this is not only it is the cheapest option, but because you are not paying someone else, but it's actually the most time consuming, because you will need to hire employees, you will need to train them, and hiring an employees would imply that you get the best employee the first time. That you need to hire coaches and consultants to help you define the right strategy, losing a lot of time on defining the best strategy. Overall, it's very slow. Then the second option, the one that we have just said, is hiring a marketing agency, a generic marketing agency, which will run generic ads, doesn't have experience. They tend to have zero support because they are managing too many clients at the same time, and it's just not made for med spas. Somewhere in between, we have like a tailor-made solution, which is, in this case, our business. We have created a design system that only works with medical spas, cannot be applied with any other company. We have only worked with clinics and aesthetic practices. We don't know how to work with lawyers. These are all proven methods that are tailored to your specific clinic. In fact, we only work with a couple of clinics at the same time, but I don't want to spend additional words on this. So why is that most med spas marketing actually fails? Well, it's for a multiple of reasons. The first one is that they all focus on treatment-based offers. What do I mean? If you have seen this type of offers, this is basically what 99% of medical spas run as advertisement. And the problem with that is that you're basically positioning yourself as an option for a treatment. Since people can now choose between hundreds, if not thousands, of different treatments or different companies that are going to provide the same treatment, they are basically only going to choose based on price. So even if your clinic is the best one, you have the best machines, you have the best experience, they won't be able to see that until they actually book an appointment. But to book an appointment, they first need to click on your ad. And what happens is that they see basically you as a commodity. You don't have any premium luxury feel, and actually your ads and your offer is just boring and standard because it has been seen so many times. Then the second thing is that like most med spas are using generic advertising. What I mean is those type of images and videos, they are basically copy and pasted by different companies every single day, which then will make the feed, the Instagram, basically the same thing. Nothing is gonna pop up. So they are not gonna click your ad. Your ads are gonna be extremely expensive. You are not using urgency, trust, or scarcity, and you're just gonna get blend with all the other clinic advertisements. Then the third thing is actually when these leads are generated for a very high cost, then all these leads are actually unanswered because they don't get any message. So what happens is that leads actually lose interest if they don't get in like a call or SMS within 30 minutes. And at the same time, if you reach out to a lead within 5 minutes, you actually increase by 70% the chances of them booking an appointment. These actually also make them feel like the customer support is very bad. They don't have any personal assistance. They feel like ignored. And these ultimately will bring you to losing clients. And then the fourth aspect is that there is no focus on closing high ticket packages and thus making zero sales. This is the most important step in the med spa on acquiring new clients. What happens is that when someone comes in for the appointment, the generic med spa owner would just propose like all the packages, like a list of 10, 20, 30 different packages, thus making a client not feel special because they are just another walk-in. These packages that are still focused only on a specific treatment, like 10 sessions of microneedling, 5 sessions HydraFacial, they are not made as custom and tailored for that specific lead. They are just copy and paste, that they are not being customized for that specific client. And then also, the person that's going to speak to the client doesn't have any selling experience. They just go ahead, propose the packages. If they say yes, great. If they say no, they're losing a lot of money on the table. So enter now the AI mechanism. So what the heck are the AI mechanisms? So let me tell you, AI mechanisms are basically a new and on top way to leverage artificial intelligence to generate a steady stream of high-paying clients without getting bogged down by hours, manual work, hiring additional staff, and paying a lot of money. So let me walk you through this. So the first step is actually getting leads with irresistible offers, then AI follow-ups and nurture the leads. Then you book for consultation to filter out these leads, book them for an appointment, and then you focus on high-ticket closing. So let's tackle one at a time. So let's start with getting leads with irresistible offers. For irresistible offers. So first of all, we need to understand that your single treatments can be considered as basically single blocks of a puzzle, of a castle. The single treatment itself is considered as a commodity because like for instance, if you go grocery shopping and you need flour, you're just gonna compare flour based on the price. The quality might be important, but for the majority of people, they are just gonna choose based on price. So this also ultimately, if you create an offer based on a single treatment, because the treatment itself is a commodity, you're going to be considered as a commodity, and your clients are going to compare you with other companies based on price. Thus, you're going to be like pushed on like selling your treatments and your offers as the lowest price to win this price war. But ultimately, you're just going to make very low and thin margins. What you should do instead is creating irresistible offers. So irresistible offers, you can see them as like a full-made castle. So instead of selling a specific piece, the specific brick, you actually use all the bricks to build something unique and different. Why this is crucial? Well, first of all, because you are value stacking different elements that if you have picked them individually, they're going to have a value. But if you combine them all together, they're going to have a unique value that cannot be compared with anything else. For example, that's what applies for our ShapeShift Sculpting Special, which cannot be compared to a cryotherapy treatment or a body contouring treatment because it's something else. By combining treatments, bonuses, consultations, and products, you are then able to create a customized offer that is going to feel unique. It's going to be different from everything else your clients would see online. These, like, just for an example, these are some of the intro offers we have created for our clients. For instance, we have the Forever Young filler package that has like a lip flip or brown leaf, then a filler, a skin consultation with consultations, or a hydroabrasion offer that combines skin consultation, hydroabrasion, LED light therapy, and a facial mask, or a Forever Fresh Botox package that has 10 units of Botox, dental brightening, facial and facial peer, or the Facial Laser Genesis that has Facial Laser Genesis, View Skin Analysis, free letter therapy, and so on. So the second thing is that AI can then follow up with all these leads immediately, literally within seconds, to nurture them. So why is that so important? So you basically, when you talk about AI, you can basically be two different persons. The first person says, oh, AI is a fluke, I don't believe in AI, you can immediately spot them, I don't like it. Well, this type of person is not going to make money online, specifically in 2025. Instead, the person is going to say, oh, AI is going to automate my entire business. That's the real champion. That's the person you want to be. So, but the problem with the AI is that most of the times is actually every time it needs to be trained, and this takes time. It takes a lot of time, effort, going back and forth, manual labor. It's full, like the entire market is full of bad solutions because right now AI is getting, like, it's entering the market, which means that a lot of bad providers also entering the market to try to leverage this wave of opportunities. And the third thing is that AI is constantly changing and improving, so you always need to stay on track with it. You cannot set it up once and just like call it a day. Every single day you need to improve it and change it. So enter Leah. Who is Leah? Leah is basically our AI assistant that we have crafted over 3 years of working on that specifically, and we're basically at the 4th different version after like changing it every single time and sending like hundreds of thousands of SMS every single day. So how overall it works, like setting our AI assistant? So the first thing is that we analyze your business. So we basically have the AI study your entire website, your treatments, your offer, your promotions, what are the frequently asked questions that your clients have, what are the most common problems. Then we create a tailor-made AI assistant that can be used only for your clinic and does not everything of your clinic. And then the third thing is that we actually put the AI in action. And what it does, that is going to automatically, first of all, reach out to the leads. So trying to leverage the fact they're interested. Then it's going to filter out, remove all the price shoppers and tire kickers, and then book them for a phone consultation. This is obviously why it's very important, because as soon as you get a new lead, you first of all need to reach out to them and making sure that all the price shoppers and tire kickers are getting filtered out, And then the second thing, the second additional step that makes sure that the quality of the lead is very high is then booking those leads for a phone consultation. Because during the phone consultation, first of all, you can understand what are the pain points, and then you can do that additional step in the quality assessment. So really make sure that only the quality clients will be added, will be able to book an appointment. The third step, as I said, is full consultation to filter out leads. So this is needed because you are basically increasing the number of point of interaction that you have with the lead. Why is that so important? Because obviously every single person is busy. On their normal day, they're working, they're taking their kids at school, they're going grocery shopping, and if you send a single SMS, like 99% is not enough. So you need to call them, send them SMS, send them email, WhatsApp, and calling them in some cases is the fastest way of actually making sure that they actually book an appointment. But it's also important because you build relationship. What I mean is that if you just send an SMS, they're gonna see like a bland automatic SMS. But if they speak with a person, they can actually try to link your brand with a human, with a specific tonality. And these also create relationship because it makes them feel unique, because you are calling them just because they clicked your app. You're making them feel special. And also by talking them with them on the phone, you're able to take the card on file and then actually have them pay a deposit, making sure that you almost get 100% show rate. And then you can obviously reply back to frequently asked questions, concerns, and building trust. If you don't leverage the phone consultation AI to book phone consultation, you're basically gonna have a very high ratio of no-shows. You're not gonna build any trust and commitment in the leads. Those leads will be lost, thus making you waste the marketing budget. And also the overall appointment volume is gonna be very low. While on the other side, if you use that, you're going to increase the trust, the appointments, you are going to increase your show rate, and your staff is not going to be overwhelmed because they won't need to call every single lead, because that will be managed by someone else. And the fourth last piece is actually focusing on high ticket closing. And this is something crucial. So let's examine, for instance, a normal campaign. So you spend $3,000 on ad spend. You have a $10 cost per lead, which is average. You get 300 leads. From those 300 leads, 30% book an appointment. So you get 90 appointments. You're running a $100 offer, and 80% of those appointments show up. So you have 72 showed appointments times 100, you make a revenue of $7,200 minus the 2,000 ad spend, minus the staff, the labor, and all the fixed costs. You basically get a 1,000/2,000 profit, best scenario. Obviously, you can understand that having 90 appointments in 30 days is a lot of people to welcome and a lot of people to manage. Your capacity is going to be extremely paper thin. But at the same time, you're only going to make 1K, 2K at best. But your stress and your workload is going to be so high that's going to be basically making you say, okay, but why would I open a med spa? Let's just close it and file like I work someone else. This is important because you basically won't be able to make 40, 70K every single month revenue if you're just focusing on selling treatments. That's why you need to focus on closing high ticket packages that are not based on treatments. You need to see then every single appointment as basically as a free client. So a way for free to try to pitch your $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 package to that specific person that you have acquired. So you need to be willing to spend $200, $300 to get every single client, because that client then potentially could make you earn like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 and even more. So what is the solution to this scenario? So the first thing is that you need to create tailored packages based on your front offer. So you cannot show the package as the first thing when they enter the appointment. You first of all need to focus on the pain points of your client, understand their desired situation, the obstacles they're facing, and the challenges they face trying to solve these issues, and let them talk for 90% of the time. You can follow something called the closer framework. So you basically need to clarify the reason why the prospect entered the appointment. you want to label them with a specific pain point or obstacle. Then you want to understand what have been the obstacles that they have faced trying to solve the specific issue. Then you want to sell the solution, the vacation that your package, not the treatment, is going to be. Then you want to explain and overcome any potential objection they might have, and then reinforce the decision and why your solution is the best. Then for this specific thing, we can actually help you out 100% because we have like proven in-clinic consultation guide that basically walks you through the entire in-clinic consultation, which is basically a sales mastery course where we tell you exactly how you should prepare for the in-clinic consultation, the pre-consult survey, how you can handle objection, how you can create custom packages, and literally the same script you need to basically study and repeat during the consultation. Because basically your job is more about selling than actually making treatments. But then, so let's recap. So we analyzed how you can get leads with irresistible offers. Then we talked how you can use AI to follow up with all these leads, to nurture them, filter them out, and then book for consultation to additionally filter out leads. And then the last piece is actually focused on the high ticket close. So this is actually the only way med spas and aesthetic practices can make money and open their next locations in 2025, but it was the same 2024, it's going to be the same 2026. So let's recap. Your first option is, as I said, hiring an in-house team. That's going to make everything cheaper, of course, but it's going to take you ages, hundreds of hours to even build something that probably is going to be mediocre. The second option is hiring a generic agency. What happens is that they're going to run the same ads, generic ads. You're going to be blended with the other type of clinics. They're not going to set up for you intro offer. They're not going to use AI to follow up with leads. You're not going to have a customized plan and a customized acquisition system designed for med spas. Or you have the third solution. So we work only for with med spas, and we have been working this field for over 5 years, and we have developed what we believe is the best client acquisition system for medical spas. And we don't just say that because we want to do crazy guarantee, but after being working 5 years in this industry and headbutting the same wall for 5 years, we finally understood what is that actually works. Because the only industry we have worked is the medical spa industry. So let's enter the LIA AI system, which is specifically designed for established medical spas, aesthetic clinics that own multiple locations or they're looking to scale. So what happens is that briefly on the first day you sign up, you get started. On the second day, you basically get onboarded in the entire system. You're going to have a call with our client success manager, Sophie. Then after that, we're going to create your offer based on your treatments and what are your margins and overall what the market wants. So you don't waste time in offers that are not going to work. Then after that, we're going to reactivate your dormant clients by creating customized and profitable offers following the same thought process that I told you to get clients and appointments even before spending a penny on the ads. Then after that, we're going to launch customized ads using your own materials, videos, and images that are going to be customized and going to be unique and different from all the other ads you can see at the other clients. And then from the day 14 onwards, we are just going to focus on optimizing, scaling, and making sure your revenue is going to increase every single month. So what are you going to get by signing up? Well, first of all, you're going to get the irresistible offers vault, which is valued $2,000, which is basically a list of our intro offers that we are testing every single week that are tested and we know they're working. A tailor-made AI assistant worth $5,000 that is basically an AI concierge custom built for you. A Facebook ads management normally costs $1,500. A database reactivation service to get appointments literally on day 0 that costs $2,000. A trained triager, we're going to basically train, and select a performing and expert triager so you don't have to call any leads. You don't need to increase the salary of your front desk, valued $1,000. We're going to add the sales mastery and the high ticket package tool that together will allow you to basically sell high ticket packages. And then you're also going to get weekly and daily support by a customized team. We only take a couple of spots, so everyone is managed by we're using 100% of our mental capacity. This in total is going to be over $17,000 in value. Then you're also going to get additional bonuses like the results tracker, which is over $1,000 worth, a creative bank. So we're going to give you a list of all the creatives that are proven to work and we have used that you can take inspiration from. A kickoff call script so that if you want to, you can actually understand and study how you can do the perfect phone consultation, even for your team. A referral system that basically is going to make you earn $700 every time you refer a friend. And then a master video editor, normally value over $1,000. It is basically a dedicated video editor for you that is going to create and edit your images and your videos to create customized ads. Then it's going to make your brand unique and stand out. This has a value of over $7,000. So everything all bundled up together goes over $24,000, but the actual investment we require is low four figures. So if you're interested, if you want to just hear more in depth of what we do and how we can actually help you open your third or fourth clinic, or like just get you to $1 million in yearly revenue, you can go below and book a free demo call with our team. It's going to be a free call, 45 minutes on Google Meet, no commitment, nothing else. Or most likely right now, after watching this video, you have realized that the old way of doing marketing just doesn't work anymore. It's not 2018 anymore. You cannot just run a Facebook advertisement and call it a day. Lia AI system is a proven solution that can work only for this exact industry. It's not just another gimmick, another AI fluke. It's not a copy and paste program that you need to manage yourself. It's not like an AI program that you get started, you get on board, and then after 8 weeks, you need to manage yourself. It's everything is going to be done for you, so you don't have to focus on anything else. And Marketer is the only company, is the only growth partner that has been built for medical spas that can implement this system and that is not going to leave you behind, is going to manage everything for you. So what are your alternatives? So just recap. The first one is hiring a generic agency. What are the costs? So normally you're going to spend like a $5,000/$7,000 setup fee, and then it's going to be like a $1,000/$2,000 retainer every single month to keep their ads up and running. You're going to obviously spend at least $1,000 in ad spend, and then you're going to need to commit for their agreement and cannot leave them before 90 days. You're basically spending $10,000, $13,000 every single month, in total, on the same service that has been used for companies, contractors. You don't have a way to call the leads. You need to do that yourself. They're just gonna manage your ads. What are obviously the cons of doing this? But well, you don't have an AI concierge that's be for you. You have to call every single lead. You don't have an acquisition system that only works for med spas. They don't have any proven records. They don't have any results that can be applied to your own industry. You need to call the leads. You need to follow up with them. And then you need to spend countless of hours of work. The second alternative is obviously hiring an in-house team. Well, that's obviously it's cheaper because you only need to spend $1,000 a month to hire a media buyer. You need to spend $300 a month to set up an AI software, but obviously you need to manage it and train it. You need to pay $500 a month for a CRM, $1,000 to have a dedicated front desk to call every single lead. You need to hire a video editor. And then you need to spend an X amount of dollars trying to come up with strategies by hiring coaches and consultants. The obvious cons of doing this is that you need to spend hundreds of hours by hiring new staff, and that obviously takes time because not every single employee is going to be the best choice every single time. You're going to fire someone there between. You're going to train them, and that takes time. But not only training them takes time, you first need to train yourself so that you can teach people, or you need to hire someone to teach them. Then you have to manage a bigger team. because since you have this marketing team, then you're going to also manage them. And basically, you are not going to have a lot of time left to focus on the treatments, on the suppliers, and like on what you actually love doing, which is generating results for your clients. Then what if, oh, we don't have a budget for this? Well, what happens then? Okay, so you don't have any budget. What are you gonna do? What if, like, if your goal is to make 100K in revenue every single month, you are actually, like, it's costing you every single month $100,000 because you have not found a way to make those $100,000. So if you stay still, you are not gonna get to that goal, and you're just getting a cost every single month because you are not able to reach that goal. And also, what if the reason right now you don't have a marketing budget for this is not the cause, but it's actually the symptom of something else? What I mean is that if you don't have the budget right now, it's because you have not chosen, you have not decided to find a way to actually make that money back. So that if you actually have done that, now you would have the money, the budget to invest more in your business. But if you don't take action, you're gonna basically be the person that doesn't do anything, complains about it, but stays still, instead of another person that is gonna think, okay, I don't have the money for this. How can I have the money for this? So it's gonna take the money, it's gonna look for the money so that you can actually reinvest that in their business and set up something that's gonna get them. One example is, for instance, Abir. She's one of our best clients, and she went from spending $10,000 a month on ads to cash collecting 52K in 54 days. So before that, she was paying like $10,000 between Facebook and Google's, and she was getting like one single client for $300 in cost. After that, she got 50K in cash collected, and now is making every single month in revenue consistently an additional $50,000, getting basically a return on an overall return on investments on not just in ads but also on our service of over 11. So that means that for every dollar she spends, she gets 11 back. Not doing anything would have costed her more than $60,000 a month because she wouldn't have made 50K a month every single month. Then I can actually hire a team. Well, yes, you can hire a team, but then you will need to spend hundreds of hours training them. You need to test strategies until you find the right one, because obviously you will need to find a good marketing strategy. And you're going to spend thousands of dollars by testing those strategies to see if they're worth, hiring the right employee, firing employees every time. And ultimately, you're gonna reach a point where you would just say, okay, no, I just had it now. I don't want to keep hiring new people, spending money on ads, and then you're just gonna blame Facebook ads, saying that Facebook ad doesn't work, which obviously we know it's much more complex than that. Or another thing, oh, every agency is the same. So let me ask you this: have you ever had like a bad first boyfriend or girlfriend? Obviously, like everyone has had it. Okay, imagine that right now probably you have a spouse, you probably have a husband or a wife. If you had that like bad boyfriend girlfriend, like, do you think it would have made sense if you decided on that day, if that boyfriend or girlfriend cheated on you, okay, now that's enough, I'm not gonna look for another boyfriend girlfriend because that first one like treated me harshly or like cheating on me? Would have made sense for you to like lose your potential spouse in the future because you closed that door? For the same reason, having a bad experience with an agency doesn't make every agency bad, but actually it's, for some reason, it's actually better because you had a problem, you had like a failure, now you know what does not work and what you need to look after. If your agency were running generic ads, blend ads, you didn't have any customer support, and the offers you were running were all treatment based, okay, I invested $10,000, but what I got back was education, or like a lessons, and now I know how to invest it so that I can make that money back. So if you're really interested in like in creating and building your next application. If you want to hear more and see how we can actually help you scale your clinic, click below. You can book a free demo call with us. And if you're not interested, we're still gonna send you to your inbox a lot of bonuses and case studies that you can use right now and immediately make.